This week holds a single thread that, once you pull it, unravels everything you have been trying to force into place. And what replaces it is going to surprise you. If you are a Sagittarius who has been feeling scattered, stretched thin, or quietly frustrated because your energy keeps going in 10 directions at once, this message is about to shift your entire perspective. There is one goal, just one, that has the power to move everything else forward. Not 10 priorities, not 5, one. And the moment you identify it, something clicks into place that you have not felt in a long time. The stars this week are not asking you to do more. They are asking you to do less, but with sharper focus and deeper intention. That distinction matters more than you realize right now, because Sagittarius energy is powerful, expansive, and naturally restless. But when that fire gets channeled into a single direction, it becomes unstoppable. You have felt this before, those rare moments when everything aligned because you were locked into one clear purpose. This week is bringing that feeling back, but only if you are willing to stop splitting yourself apart and trust that one committed step will carry more weight than 100 half-hearted ones. Stay with me through every section of this guide because each piece builds on the last, and by the end, you will know exactly what that one goal is and how to pursue it without burning out. Tip 1. The reason one goal changes everything is not about limitation, it is about liberation. Most people resist the idea of narrowing their focus because it feels like giving something up. Especially you, Sagittarius. Your nature craves variety, adventure, and the feeling that all doors remain open. So when someone tells you to pick one thing, something inside you pushes back. That resistance is understandable, but here is what the energy this week is revealing. The reason you feel overwhelmed is not because you have too much to do. It is because you have too many competing intentions pulling your attention apart. Think about water flowing through a wide, shallow riverbed. It moves, but slowly, spreading itself thin across the surface. Now imagine that same water funneled into a narrow channel. Suddenly it has force. It has direction. Cuts through rock. That is what happens when you take your enormous Sagittarius energy and aim it at one target. You do not lose anything. You gain momentum. And momentum is the thing you have been missing. This week, the planetary alignment is encouraging you to ask yourself a question that might feel uncomfortable at first. What is the one thing that, if it moved forward, would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Sit with that question. Do not rush past it, because your mind will immediately try to list 3 or 4 things. That is the pattern that has been keeping you stuck. The pattern of treating everything as equally urgent when, in truth, there is always one thing that matters more than the rest. Maybe it is your health. Maybe it is a relationship that needs honest attention. Maybe it is a financial decision you have been postponing. Maybe it is a creative project that keeps getting pushed to the back of the line. Whatever it is, you already know. You have known for a while. The problem has not been awareness. The problem has been that you keep letting other things crowd it out, telling yourself you will get to it eventually. Eventually is a dangerous word for Sagittarius. It sounds hopeful, but it is actually a way of postponing the very thing that would set you free. This week, the universe is asking you to stop saying eventually and start saying now. Not in a frantic, pressure-filled way. In a calm, grounded, deliberate way. You choose one thing. You give it your attention. And you watch how quickly the other pieces start arranging themselves around it. That is how focus works. It does not eliminate your other goals. It organizes them. It creates a hierarchy that your energy can actually follow instead of scattering in every direction. The people who accomplish extraordinary things are not necessarily more talented or more disciplined than you. They simply learned this one truth earlier. That depth beats breadth every single time. And this week is your invitation to experience that truth firsthand. The act of choosing is itself a declaration. When you look at your life and say, "This is what matters most to me right now," you send a signal to every part of yourself and to the universe that you are serious. That signal draws resources, opportunities, and clarity toward you in ways that cannot happen when your energy is scattered across a dozen different pursuits. Think of it as tuning a radio dial. When you are between stations, all you get is static. But the moment you lock onto a single frequency, everything comes through clearly. This week, your one goal is your frequency. Lock onto it. Let everything else fade into background noise for now. Not forever, just for now. And notice how the static in your life starts to quiet down, replaced by a signal that is sharp, clear, and undeniably yours. But knowing which goal to choose is only the beginning. What matters next is how you approach it. And that is where the following section becomes critical. Tip 2. Once you identify your one goal, the next step is not to attack it with force. It is to build a relationship with it. This might sound strange, but stay with me. Sagittarius has a tendency to charge forward the moment clarity arrives. You see the target, you feel the spark, and you want to sprint. But sprinting burns you out faster than you expect. And then the goal you were so excited about becomes another thing you abandon halfway through. This week's energy is asking for a different approach. Think of your goal not as a mountain to conquer, but as a conversation to continue. Every day you show up to it. You give it a little time, a little thought, a little effort. Not everything at once, just enough to keep the connection alive and growing. This is how sustainable progress works. It is not dramatic. It is not cinematic. It is quiet and consistent, and over time incredibly powerful. The reason most people fail at their goals is not a lack of motivation. It is a lack of pacing. They start too fast, expect results too soon, and when the initial excitement fades, they interpret that fading as a sign that they chose wrong. But excitement always fades. That is normal. What replaces it, if you let it, is something deeper. A steady commitment that does not depend on how you feel on any given morning. This week, practice showing up to your one goal, even on the days when you do not feel inspired. Especially on those days, because those are the days that build the kind of inner strength that inspiration alone cannot create. There is a rhythm to real achievement, and it looks nothing like what most people imagine. It is not a straight line upward. It is a series of small, repeated actions that compound over time, until one day you look up and realize you have traveled further than you thought possible. The key is patience, and patience for Sagittarius can feel like the hardest thing in the world. Your fire wants results now. Your spirit wants to see the payoff immediately. But the most meaningful things in life, the ones that truly change your experience of being alive, those things take time. They take showing up when it is boring. They take continuing when nobody is watching. They take trusting the process even when you cannot see the progress yet. This week is teaching you that trust. Not blind faith, but earned trust, the kind that comes from proving to yourself day after day that you are someone who follows through. And every time you show up to your goal, even in the smallest way, you are depositing evidence into your own belief system. You are telling yourself, through action rather than words, that you are capable of sustained effort. That message is more valuable than any external achievement because it rewires how you see yourself. And when you see yourself as someone who finishes what they start, you begin to start things that actually matter. That shift in identity is the real prize this week. Not the goal itself, but who you become in the process of pursuing it with patience and consistency. Consider what happens when you water a seed. You do not pour a flood on it once and walk away. You give it a little each day. You trust that something is happening beneath the surface even when you see no evidence. And then one morning a green shoot appears and everything changes. Your one goal is that seed. This week, your job is not to make it bloom instantly. Your job is to show up with the watering can, day after day, with no guarantee of when the first shoot will appear, but with absolute certainty that it will. That certainty is not naive. It is earned through the act of showing up itself. And once you have it, nothing can take it from you. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. One of the biggest obstacles between you and your one goal this week is not external. It is the noise inside your own mind. Sagittarius carries a particular kind of mental energy that is both a gift and a challenge. Your mind moves fast, connects ideas that others miss. It leaps from possibility to possibility with a speed that can feel exhilarating. But that same speed can work against you when it comes to focused effort. Because while your hands are working on one thing, your mind is already 3 steps ahead, wondering about the next thing, questioning whether you chose the right thing, imagining all the other things you could be doing instead. This week, the stars are highlighting the importance of quieting that internal noise. Not silencing it completely, that is neither possible nor desirable, but learning to turn down the volume so that it becomes background sound rather than the dominant voice in your experience. How do you do this? You start by when your mind pulls you away from the present task. You do not judge yourself for it. You do not get frustrated. You simply notice and gently bring your attention back. This is not a one-time action. It is a practice. And like any practice, it gets easier with repetition. Think of your attention like a muscle. Right now, it might be weak from years of being pulled in every direction. But every time you consciously redirect it back to your one goal, you are strengthening it. You are building the mental discipline that separates people who dream from people who do. And this is not about becoming rigid or losing your natural spontaneity. It is about developing the ability to choose where your energy goes rather than letting every passing thought make that decision for you. There is a profound freedom in that kind of self-direction, and this week is offering you a taste of it. The mental noise will try to convince you that focus is boring, that you are missing out, that there is something more exciting waiting around the corner. Recognize that voice for what it is. It is the voice of the pattern that has kept you spinning in place. It sounds like wisdom, but it is actually fear dressed up as curiosity. Real curiosity does not pull you away from meaningful work. Real curiosity drives you deeper into it. Real curiosity makes you want to understand something fully, not just skim the surface before moving on. This week, challenge yourself to go deeper than you usually do. When you sit down with your one goal, resist the urge to check your progress after 5 minutes. Resist the urge to switch to something easier. Stay in the discomfort of sustained attention and notice what happens. Often, the breakthrough comes right after the point where you would normally give up. Right after the moment where boredom or restlessness peaks. There is a doorway to a kind of flow state that Sagittarius rarely accesses because you leave the room before it opens. This week, stay in the room. Stay a little longer than feels comfortable, and watch what becomes available to you on the other side of that discomfort. There is a particular quality of thought that only emerges after you have spent extended time with one subject. It is not the quick, sparkling insight that comes in the first 5 minutes. It is something slower, richer, more layered. It is the kind of understanding that changes how you see everything, not just the task in front of you. Sagittarius has access to this deeper level of thinking, but only when the mental noise subsides enough to let it surface. This week, give yourself permission to think slowly, to sit with one idea until it reveals its hidden dimensions, to resist the pull of the next thought until this thought has fully matured. What you find there will change how you approach not just this goal, but every goal that follows. Tip 4. There is a conversation you need to have this week, and it is with yourself about what you are willing to release in order to make room for what you truly want. Sagittarius holds on to things, not in the same way other signs do, not with tight fists, but with scattered attention. You keep old commitments alive by giving them a tiny sliver of energy. You maintain relationships that no longer serve you by occasionally showing up just enough to keep the connection breathing. You hold on to habits that drain you because letting go of them would mean admitting that a chapter is over. This week, the energy is asking you to take an honest inventory. Look at where your time, your energy, and your emotional resources are actually going. Not where you think they are going, not where you wish they were going, where they are actually going hour by hour, day by day. You might be surprised by what you find, because Sagittarius is remarkably good at creating the illusion of forward motion while actually running in circles. You stay busy, you stay active, you stay engaged with the world, but busy is not the same as productive, and active is not the same as purposeful. This week strips away that illusion and asks you to be honest about the difference. What would happen if you stopped doing 3 things that are taking up your time without moving you closer to your one goal? What would happen if you said no to the next invitation that does not align with your priority? What would happen if you cleared an entire afternoon and spent it in focused pursuit of the thing that matters most? The answer is, space would open up. And in that space, something remarkable happens. Your creativity returns. Your energy consolidates. Your clarity sharpens. Because you are no longer running a dozen programs in the background, draining your system without producing any meaningful output. This is the paradox of letting go. It feels like you are losing something, but you are actually gaining capacity. You are creating room for the one thing that can genuinely transform your life this week. And transformation does not require adding more to your plate. It requires removing what does not belong. Think about a sculptor working with stone. The masterpiece is already inside the block. The sculptor does not add material. They remove everything that is not the final form. Your life this week works the same way. The clarity, the progress, the breakthrough you are seeking. It is already here. It is buried under all the things you have been unwilling to release. This week gives you the courage to pick up the chisel, but it also gives you the wisdom to know that not everything needs to go. Some things are load-bearing. Some commitments are essential. The skill is in knowing the difference, and that discernment is one of the greatest gifts this week offers you. Trust your instincts here. You know which things are nourishing you and which things are simply familiar. Familiar is not the same as necessary, and this week is the perfect time to learn that lesson deeply. There are obligations you carry out of habit rather than purpose. There are routines you follow because they are comfortable, not because they serve you. There are people you give energy to because you always have, not because the exchange is still balanced. This week asks you to distinguish between what feeds your fire and what slowly smothers it. And once you see the difference clearly, the act of releasing becomes not painful but relieving. Like setting down a bag of stones you forgot you were carrying. The lightness that follows is not emptiness. It is freedom. And that freedom is exactly the fuel your one goal requires. Tip 5. Your body is trying to tell you something this week. And if you do not listen, it will speak louder. Sagittarius often lives from the neck up, racing through ideas, plans, philosophies, and future visions while the physical body quietly sends signals that get ignored. This week, those signals are getting stronger. Maybe it is tension in your shoulders that will not go away. Maybe it is a fatigue that sleep does not fully resolve. Maybe it is a restlessness in your legs, an ache in your lower back, or a tightness in your chest that appears when you think about certain situations. These are not random. Your body is a messenger, and it has been delivering the same message for weeks, possibly months. The message is simple: something needs to change in how you are living, and you have been postponing that change because it feels inconvenient or because you are afraid of what it might require. This week, instead of pushing through the discomfort, try sitting with it, not analyzing it with your mind, but actually feeling it in your body. Put your hand on the area that is tense or tired and breathe into it. Ask it, without expecting a verbal answer, what it needs. This might sound unusual, but your body holds wisdom that your mind cannot access through thinking alone. It remembers every stress you have absorbed, every emotion you have swallowed, every boundary you have failed to set. And it expresses those memories through physical sensation. When you start listening to your body, you begin to understand your life at a level that most people never reach. You start to notice that certain people make your stomach tighten. Certain commitments make your jaw clench. Certain environments make your breathing shallow. These are data points, and they are more reliable than any pro and con list your rational mind could create. This week, let your body vote on the decisions you are facing. If something makes you feel expanded, light, and energized, that is a yes. If something makes you feel contracted, heavy, and drained, that is a no. It really can be that simple, but only if you are willing to trust sensations over logic. And for Sagittarius, who loves to think and reason and philosophize, that trust does not come easily. You want to understand why before you act. But sometimes the why comes after the action, not before. Sometimes you need to follow the body's guidance first, and let the understanding catch up later. This week is an experiment in that kind of trust. Your one goal, the one you identified at the beginning of this guide, should feel right in your body when you think about it. Not just intellectually exciting, but physically resonant. If it does not, you might need to adjust it. Because a goal that lives only in your head will never generate the sustained energy required to see it through. A goal that lives in your body, one that makes you feel alive when you work toward it, that goal carries its own fuel. It does not require willpower because it generates desire. It does not require discipline because it creates its own pull. Finding that alignment between what your mind wants and what your body responds to. That is the sweet spot, and this week is designed to help you find it, if you are willing to slow down enough to feel. There is a reason that the ancient traditions always spoke of the body as a temple, not because it is decorative, but because it houses something sacred: your intuition, your instinct, your connection to a knowing that does not need logic to be valid. This week, honor that temple. Move it gently, feed it well, rest it fully, and most importantly, listen to what it tells you. Because the body does not lie. The mind can rationalize anything, justify anything, talk itself into or out of anything. But the body simply tells the truth. And the truth it is telling you this week is directly connected to the direction your one goal needs to take. Trust it, follow it, and notice how the path becomes clearer with every step you take in alignment with what your physical self already knows. Tip 6. The people around you this week are mirrors, and what they are reflecting back might be uncomfortable to see. Sagittarius values independence fiercely. You pride yourself on being your own person, on not needing validation, on carving your own path regardless of what others think. And that independence is one of your greatest strengths. But it can also become a wall that prevents you from receiving the feedback the universe is trying to deliver through the humans in your life. This week, pay attention to the patterns in your interactions. If more than one person comments on the same thing, your energy, your mood, your availability, your follow-through, that is not coincidence. That is a message being delivered through multiple channels because you were not hearing it through one. The mirror might show you that you have been more distant than you realized, that your focus on your own goals has created a gap between you and the people who matter most. Or it might show you the opposite, that you have been so focused on others that you have neglected yourself entirely. Whatever the reflection reveals, resist the urge to defend yourself. Defense is the enemy of growth. When someone tells you something about yourself that stings, the sting itself is proof that it is touching something real. Something you already knew but were not ready to face. This week you are ready, not because you are stronger than before, but because the one goal you have identified requires you to be honest about where you stand. You cannot move forward effectively while carrying blind spots. Those blind spots create the same problems over and over, in different packaging, making you feel like you are cursed or unlucky when really you are just missing a piece of information about yourself that others can see clearly. Let them show you. Not everyone who offers feedback has pure intentions, of course. You have earned your discernment through experience, and it serves you well. But this week, try loosening the filter just enough to let in the messages that come from people who have proven their care for you over time. The ones who have stayed, the ones who have shown up consistently, those people have earned the right to reflect back what they see, and this week, what they see might be exactly what you need to hear. Relationships are not distractions from your goal. They are part of the ecosystem that supports it. When you strengthen your connections with the right people, your solo efforts gain a foundation they did not have before. You stop trying to build everything by yourself. You allow support to enter, and that support, combined with your focused energy on your one goal, creates a combination that is far more powerful than anything you could achieve alone. This week, let people in. Not everyone, but the right ones. You know who they are. There is something specific that happens when you allow yourself to be truly seen by another person. The walls come down, and with them, the tension you have been carrying without realizing it. You exhale. Your shoulders drop. Your voice softens. And in that moment of genuine openness, you access a version of yourself that is more creative, more courageous, and more clear-headed than the guarded version could ever be. This week, seek out those moments of being seen, not on a stage or a screen, but in a quiet room with someone who knows you well enough to tell you the truth and loves you enough to do it gently. That combination of truth and gentleness is rare. When you find it, protect it. And when it offers you a reflection you did not expect, receive it like the gift it is. Because the people who love you are often the first to see the shift that is trying to happen, even before you see it yourself. Tip 7. There is a financial thread woven through this week that deserves your careful attention. This is not about big dramatic changes in your material circumstances. It is about the quiet relationship you have with money, resources, and the feeling of enough. Sagittarius often has a complicated relationship with abundance. On one hand, you are naturally generous, sometimes to a fault. You give freely, share openly, and rarely count what goes out. On the other hand, there can be an underlying anxiety about security that you mask with optimism and forward motion. This week brings both of those tendencies into focus. Look at your spending patterns over the last month. Not to judge yourself, but to understand the story your spending tells. Money follows attention, and attention follows values. Where your money goes reveals what you actually value, regardless of what you say you value. This can be a confronting exercise, but it is incredibly revealing. You might discover that you are spending significant resources on things that do not align with your one goal. Comfort purchases that provide temporary relief but no lasting change. Subscriptions you forgot about. Commitments that made sense 6 months ago but no longer serve who you are becoming. This week is an invitation to align your financial energy with your focused intention. This does not mean becoming stingy or withholding. It means becoming intentional. Every unit of currency you spend is a vote for the kind of life you want to build. When you start treating it that way, your relationship with money shifts from anxiety to empowerment. You stop spending unconsciously and start investing deliberately, not just in financial instruments, but in experiences, tools, and support systems that move your one goal forward. There is also a message this week about receiving. Sagittarius sometimes blocks abundance without realizing it, often by insisting on doing everything independently. If someone offers help this week, whether financial or otherwise, consider accepting it. Your independence is not threatened by receiving. In fact, the ability to receive gracefully is a sign of deep strength, not weakness. It means you trust the flow of give and take that sustains all healthy relationships and systems. This week, practice saying yes to support that is freely offered. Notice how it feels in your body. If there is resistance, ask yourself where that resistance comes from. Often it is rooted in an old story about needing to earn everything yourself, about not deserving help, about being a burden. Those stories are not true. They never were. And this week, the energy is strong enough to help you release them if you are willing. Your one goal might have a financial component or it might not. Either way, the energy you bring to money this week will directly impact the energy available for everything else. Treat your resources as sacred, align them with your purpose, and watch how the universe responds with its own generosity. There is a principle at work here that goes beyond budgeting or planning. It is the principle that when you demonstrate stewardship over what you already have, more is entrusted to you, not as a reward but as a natural consequence. The universe does not pour abundance into leaking vessels. It pours into containers that are whole, intentional, and aligned. This week, become that container. Seal the cracks, redirect the flow, and trust that when you honor what you have, what you need has a way of arriving right on time. Tip 8. This week asks you to examine your relationship with time, because Sagittarius experiences time differently than most. For you, the future is always more vivid than the present. You can see where you want to be with stunning clarity, the life you want to live, the person you want to become, the experiences you want to have. That vision is a gift, but it can also be a trap when it causes you to undervalue the present moment. Because the present moment is where all the work happens. The future is a destination, but the present is the vehicle. And you cannot arrive anywhere if you are constantly stepping out of the vehicle to admire the horizon. This week, the energy is grounding you firmly in the now. Not to limit your vision, but to help you understand that the now is where your power lies. Every action that moves your one goal forward happens in the present tense. Every conversation, every decision, every small step, they all happen here in this moment, not in the imagined future you spend so much time visiting in your mind. Practice this week noticing when your mind drifts to the future. It will happen dozens of times a day, and that is fine. Just notice it and gently bring yourself back. Ask yourself, what can I do right now, in the next 5 minutes, that moves me closer to my goal? The answer is almost always something small. Something that does not require perfect conditions or ideal timing. Something that is available to you immediately if you are willing to start where you are instead of where you wish you were. This is the secret that separates dreamers from builders. Dreamers have beautiful visions. Builders have beautiful visions and the willingness to do unglamorous work in the present moment to bring those visions into reality. This week, you are being invited to step more fully into the builder side of your nature. That does not mean abandoning your dreams. It means honoring them enough to actually do the work they require. There is a specific kind of satisfaction that comes from present moment engagement that future thinking can never provide. It is the satisfaction of knowing that you are not just imagining your life, you are living it. You are not just planning your growth, you are actively growing. That satisfaction is available to you every single day this week. In every moment you choose to be fully where you are instead of mentally somewhere else. Time will pass regardless of how you use it. A week from now, you will look back on these 7 days and see either a series of intentions that remained abstract or a series of small, real actions that moved something meaningful forward. The choice is yours, and it is made not once but repeatedly, moment by moment, throughout each day. Choose the present. Choose action. Choose to be here for your own life while it is happening, because it is happening right now, whether you are paying attention or not. There is also a deeper layer to this relationship with time that deserves attention. Sagittarius often rushes through experiences because there is always another one waiting. You eat quickly to get to the next activity. You finish conversations early because because your mind has already moved to the next topic. You skim through moments that deserve to be savored because your internal clock is always ticking, always reminding you that there is more to do, more to see, more to experience. But what if the richness you are searching for is not in the next moment, but in this one? What if the depth you crave is available right here, in the meal you are eating, in the words you are hearing, in the work you are doing? This week, experiment with slowing down just enough to taste your own life. Not every moment needs to be an adventure. Some of the most transformative moments are the quiet ones, the ordinary ones, the ones you almost missed because you were already looking ahead. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. There is a creative impulse rising in you this week that is directly connected to your one goal, even if it does not look that way on the surface. Sagittarius carries a deep well of creative energy that often gets channeled into conversation, travel, and experience, rather than tangible creation. You create through living, and there is nothing wrong with that. But this week is asking for something more specific. It is asking you to take what you feel, what you know, and what you envision and give it form. This could mean writing something down. It could mean drawing, building, designing, or rearranging. It could mean having a conversation where you articulate your vision so clearly that it becomes real for someone else, not just for you. The act of creation is an act of commitment. When you take something from inside your mind and place it into the external world, you are making a statement. You are saying, this matters enough to exist outside of me. And that statement has power. It shifts your relationship with the goal from abstract to concrete, from someday to today, from maybe to definitely. This week, find at least one way to externalize your one goal. Write it on paper. Speak it out loud. Create a visual representation of it. Build a rough plan, even if the plan changes tomorrow. The point is not perfection. The point is manifestation in its most literal sense, making something manifest, making it visible, making it real in the physical world rather than keeping it safely tucked away in the realm of thought where it cannot be judged, cannot fail, but also cannot succeed. Sagittarius sometimes keeps goals internal, because the imagination is a safer space than reality. In your mind, everything works out. In your mind, the path is clear and the outcome is guaranteed. But keeping goals in your mind also keeps them small, because they never have to withstand the friction of the real world. They never have to adapt, adjust, or prove themselves. And without that friction, they never develop the strength to actually transform your life. This week, introduce your one goal to reality. Let it get a little messy. Let it be imperfect. Let it interact with circumstances that are not ideal and people who have opinions and limitations you did not anticipate. Because that interaction, that friction, is what refines a dream into a plan and a plan into a lived experience. The creative energy available to you this week is not precious or fragile. It is robust and eager to engage with the world. Trust it. Give it room to move. And do not filter it through perfectionism, because perfectionism is just fear wearing a costume of high standards. What you create this week does not need to be perfect. It needs to be real. And reality, in all its messy, unpredictable, glorious imperfection, is where Sagittarius truly comes alive. There is something almost sacred about the moment when an idea leaves the privacy of your mind and enters the shared world. It is vulnerable. It is exposed. And that exposure is exactly what gives it power. Because an idea that has been spoken, written, built, or shared takes on a life of its own. It attracts allies. It invites collaboration. It encounters challenges that sharpen it into something stronger than it was in its original form. This week, do not be afraid of that sharpening process. Welcome it. Every piece of feedback, every unexpected obstacle, every moment where reality does not match your vision, those are not setbacks. They are invitations to create something even better than what you imagined. The gap between imagination and reality is not a flaw. It is the workshop where great things are built. And you, Sagittarius, are being called into that workshop this week with both hands ready and your sleeves rolled up. Use this creative surge wisely because it is connected to a deeper current that flows into the next section of this guide. A current that has to do with the legacy you are quietly building whether you realize it or not. Tip 10. The final piece of this weekly puzzle is perhaps the most important, and it has to do with the story you are telling yourself about who you are and what you deserve. Every person For Sagittarius, this narrative is often optimistic on the surface. You tell yourself that things will work out. You tell yourself that the adventure continues. You tell yourself that freedom is the highest value and that you will always find your way. And all of that might be true. But beneath that optimistic surface, there is sometimes a quieter story running. A story that says you are not the kind of person who finishes things. A story that says you always start strong but lose interest. A story that says depth is for other people and you are better suited to breadth. This week, that quieter story is coming up for revision. The one goal you have identified is challenging it directly. Because if you commit to this one thing and follow through, even for just this week, you begin to rewrite the story at its foundation. You prove to yourself that commitment and Sagittarius are not incompatible. You prove that focus does not kill your fire. It concentrates it. You prove that you can be both free and devoted, both adventurous and consistent. These are not contradictions. They are the fuller expression of who you are capable of becoming. The narrative revision happening this week is not dramatic. It does not require a grand gesture or a life-altering decision. It requires simply showing up to your one goal, day after day, and letting each small action add a new line to your story. I showed up today. I followed through. I stayed when it got boring. I continued when it got hard. I chose depth over distraction. Each of those lines, written through action rather than words, changes the story from within. And when the story changes, the behavior changes. And when the behavior changes, the results change. And when the results change, the life changes. It is all connected, and it all begins with the narrative you carry about yourself. This week gives you editorial power over that narrative. Use it wisely. Do not let old chapters dictate new ones. Do not let past patterns predict future possibilities. You are not the person you were last year, last month, or even last week. You are the person you choose to be today, in this moment, with this goal, through this action. And the person you are choosing to be this week. That person is remarkable, not because of what they achieve, but because of who they are willing to become in the pursuit of something that matters. That willingness, the willingness to grow, to change, to stretch beyond the comfortable and the familiar, that is the most Sagittarius thing in the world. And this week, it is your superpower. Trust it. Follow it. Let it carry you where you need to go, one focused step at a time. There is a version of your story that has not been written yet. A chapter that begins this week with a single sentence: I chose one goal and I gave it everything. That sentence, once written through your actions, becomes the opening line of a narrative so powerful that it reshapes not just this week, but every week that follows. The pen is in your hand, the page is blank, and the story you write from here, that is entirely up to you. So here you are at the end of this guide, and I want you to feel the weight of what has been said. Not as a burden, but as a gift. You came to this message carrying scattered energy, divided attention, and a quiet frustration that your enormous potential has not yet matched your lived reality. And now you know why. Not because you lack talent or drive or vision. You have all of those in abundance, but because you have been spreading them across too many targets, diluting the very force that makes you extraordinary. This week changes that. This week you choose one goal, one direction, one commitment that organizes everything else around it like iron filings drawn to a magnet. And you pursue it not with the frantic urgency of someone who is afraid of running out of time, but with the calm confidence of someone who knows that focused energy always arrives where it needs to go. You have everything you need already. The fire is lit. The vision is clear. The path is open. What has been missing is not a missing ingredient. It is the decision to stop looking for more ingredients and start cooking with what you have. This week is that decision. Make it fully. Make it without reservation. Make it knowing that the universe does not reward perfection. It rewards commitment. And you, Sagittarius, are more capable of deep, sustained commitment than you have ever given yourself credit for. The world needs what you are building, not the scattered, half-finished version. The focused, wholehearted, one goal at a time version. That version of you is not a fantasy. It is who you become when you stop running in circles and start walking in a straight line toward the thing that matters most. This week is your straight line. Walk it with everything you have. Walk it with patience, with presence, with trust. And know that every step you take is being supported by an energy that is bigger than you can see but closer than you can imagine. You are ready for this. You have always been ready. The only thing that was missing was the moment of decision. And that moment is now. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift. Or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.